Welcome back. You're listening to Cindy Laverty's show on CRN Digital Talk. It's great to have you here. If you've missed part of the show, you can listen to a replay tomorrow at 2 p.m. or Sunday morning at 8 a.m. on that's Pacific time. And there will be replays posted on my blog at crntalk.com/Cindy Laverty later on today. My guest is Antika Libby, and we're talking about really living a life that is balanced and functional and the best that you can possibly be, which is what we talk about a lot on this show, but everybody has a little bit of a different approach. Antika, you have this great blog post on yourownuniversity.org called 12 Ways to Become a Success and Make Your Own Rules. And you say that most successful people are out-of-the-box thinkers and doers. So what are some of the things that successful people do that everybody else needs to know?
Well, the first thing is to be self-aware. So that 40 minutes that I just gave you, that's going to help you be self-aware, just knowing what you like, what you don't like. And then the second thing is really leaning into your God-given talent. So leaning into the things that you really enjoy. Often we think that we have to do things we don't enjoy, and that's where we go wrong, I believe. Life is here. It's one life to live, and enjoy it.
Right.
So pick things that you enjoy and lean into those. And usually they're so simple and come so naturally to you, you don't even know that you do them. So ask your friends.
Right. Well, and we so often get into a career or a job that is just so the antithesis of what our natural abilities are. And I think that's where we get into trouble.
Right. I agree. I absolutely agree. So 3 is really just, take care of others. And this goes into number 5, too, which is you reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm.
So what we give is what we get.
Right.
So really look at and control what you give. And so it's easiest if you lean into your natural desires, your natural pleasures, and then it'll be easy to give a lot of that. And you'll start seeing how it naturally starts flowing back into your life.
Uh-huh.
In so many ways. The blessings are just amazing. And one way to really help that is to learn the power of meditation. And also notice that the more that you do this, the more you're going to recognize my step 7 is everybody is a mirror. If you don't like something, change yourself, that Michael Jackson song.
Right.
So we're all mirrors for one another. So when you look at somebody, have compassion for them. Try compassion on and see if you can learn something about yourself.
Right.
Both the things that you like and dislike. And often we don't look at the things that we like.
That's a hard one for people.
Mm-hmm. So notice the things about your friends that you absolutely love and go, oh, that's part of me too. That's really important. And then the people that are putting you down, the things that are filling you with doubt, that's where we get to choose. That's free will. That's that beautiful contrast.
Yeah.
So you're going to say, no, thank you, and choose not to participate, not to lean into those things, not to.
And sometimes we have to do a house cleaning with friendships because we get stuck in friendships. And, I did this a couple of years ago. I had some people in my life who I considered to be really good friends. And I would leave the house and I'd be like, ugh, I don't feel good. And then I just had to walk away. Hard, but I had to do it.
Yes. You can't take responsibility for anybody else's life but yours.
Right.
So if they've outgrown you or you've outgrown them, then it's okay to move on. It's best for your own heart, and that's who you need to look out for so you can really share it and not have it guarded.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So then really commit to those positive behaviors. Commit to self-improvement. Commit to knowing yourself and the continuous growth that we get to do when we're alive.
Mm-hmm.
Being alive is about experiencing the contrast of the negative, turning and letting it let you choose what you want to be your positive, and then improving on it. And it's never going to stop.
Okay.
It's life. You're never going to get it right. You're never going to get it done.
That's true. We're never going to be perfect.
Right. My coach, Chris Ward, says, you can't get it wrong. You'll never get it done. Something like that. And I'm just like, yes.
Kind of a relief. It's kind of a relief.
It's huge. And then be fearless. So recognize fear as that ego stopping you that we talked about earlier, and just do it anyway if it feels right. The worst that can happen is it'll be a learning experience.
Right.
And you'll know that you'll get this contrast that you don't want to do it again. That's the worst. So, as long as it's legal and you're following your heart and that, the laws of the universe, then go for it. And because everything, there's equal and opposite. That's that contrast. And people that are really successful know that.
Mm-hmm.
So when they do fail, eventually they're going to succeed.
Well, I think you have to fail a lot of times before you succeed.
I have not met a successful person that hasn't told me that.
Yeah, that hasn't had
included.
like a bazillion failures. And I mean, I know starting a business, this too. I sit there and I think, at what point am I going to get this right? And then I realize, well, maybe not today, but just keep on going.
Right. It's just part of the dance. It's just part of the dance. And we do it with our physical body, with your health, the diet.
Yeah.
The more you diet, the more you die. Each time that I got to get sick and get well, I also had a chance to learn what my body likes to eat, what it doesn't like to eat,
Right.
And which has made it easier and easier for me each time to maintain my health, maintain my weight.
And what's the last one? Because we have about 20 seconds.
Yay! Love is the greatest power, and use it often.
Ah, that's nice. It's very true. All right, stay with us. You're listening to Cindy Laverty. I'll be right back with Antica Libby.